is a new shirt with the same old fat me. I'm your host, Brent Reed, the sports critic for the sports fan, for all the sports fans out in the world. It's a show for sports fans. So don't crucify me because I'm only talking to you as a sports fan. We know what's going on out in the world, so the sports news is kind of slow, so that your brains got a little get more creative, and that's so. So today's show is going to be very special. We're going to do the top 10 greatest WNBA players of all time, and basically what I had to do is sit down, did a list of 20 of the best players, and I cut it down to 10, and it wasn't as easy as you may think. There were a lot of great WNBA players in the history of this league that's been around for 25 plus years, and going forward, the league's getting better, the talent's getting better, and what I've learned is that these ladies perform at the highest level and can beat any guy out there that thinks he got what it takes to step on the court with them, because they can ball. Alright. Oh, let's get this out the way, shall we? Subscribe at YouTube today if you like the show, and leave a comment, come in front of the show. Alright. Now, there are 10, we picked 10 players. We're going to go through the segment 1, which is this. We're going to do 10 through 7. Next segment, we're going to do 6 through 4, and then we're going to finish up with 3 through 1. We did these kind of shows before. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of research. Alright. So, with that being said, if you don't like the list, leave a comment and tell me who you think should have made the list. If you don't have anything to say, just leave a comment anyway and say hi. I'll take a hi. Any case, let's get started, shall we? So, coming in at number 10 is the one, the only Delaware star herself, Elena Donne. This young lady has already, in her short period of time in joining the WNBA when she was drafted by the Chicago Sky, has made a huge impact. She was drafted in 2013, second pick. Can't believe she didn't go number 1, but it's all good. She was a second pick. Her loyalties lied to her family. She asked Chicago to be traded to Washington so she could be closer to her sister who has special needs. Great. What did she do when she came to Washington? Oh, she only bought them their first ever championship ever. Elena Donne in her career has been a 2-time league MVP. Took her 5 games to get it done, but she did it. 6-time All-Star, 4-time First Team Rookie of the Year, scoring champion. Not to mention she's got the gold, and she averages around 20 points a game. Why is that important? Because there's really, on this list, there's only one other player that averaged around 20 points a game, and we'll get to her much, much later in the show. But Elena is a beast, and she is, without a question, one of, if not the face of the league. But she's got some competition with new drafting that the Liberty just picked up. Moving on, number 9, she's been around, but she can still ball. Tennessee, a former Tennessee Vol, Candace Parker, drafted by the Sparks, only has played for the Sparks. LA, but she's from Chi-Town, if you can imagine. Drafted first pick in 2008. She's won a championship against a tough Minnesota team back in 2000. Went 5 games. She's a Finals MVP, 2-time MVP, 5-time All-Star, All-Star MVP, Rookie of the Year, First Team 5 times, 2-time rebounding champion, 2 Olympic gold medals, and she was also the the Associated Press's Athlete of the Year in 2008. Candace Parker, I always felt the league kind of dropped the ball on her, because Candace Parker, to me, was the woman who was going to put the WNBA on a different plateau. She had everything. She had the game. She had the look. She could talk. She came from Tennessee. But at the time, the WNBA just didn't invest in her the way I think they should have, making her the star of the league. She's doing it on her own, working on TNT as an analyst, a fantastic analyst, and she still gets it done. Not to mention she's a mom, and how many moms you know can bust you and dunk on you? I don't know many. Moving on to number 8, one of my favorites, Maya Moore from UConn. Ballin'. Maya Moore drafted by the Minnesota Lynx. She missed the last 2 years, basically trying to defend a guy who was wrongfully accused, and said she would not play again until he was released or got a retrial. That has happened. So when the WNBA season resumes, we'll get to see Maya Moore play again. This great basketball player was drafted #1. She was a 4-time champion, Finals MVP, League MVP, 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star MVP, 5-time First Team Rookie of the Year, 2 gold medals, scoring champion, and steals champion. Maya, to me, there's a lot of these ladies that could be the face. But I feel, once again, after they dropped the ball with Candace Parker, Maya Moore had so much momentum coming out of college, coming out of UConn, just balling out. She had the Jordan brand. She just gave you the game. She had the right everything. Not to mention she got to Minnesota and automatically made that franchise a champion. But yet they never put the rocket on her back. Maybe with her returning this year, she balls out again, and we see what happens, because Minnesota hasn't been the same since she's left. Just saying. And then we wrap up 10 through 7 with a great Lisa Leslie, former teammate of Candace Parker's. Lisa Leslie is one of the pioneers of the WNBA. She helped start this league. She helped put this league on a different level. She was the face of the WNBA, especially when she came down and she dunked and the crowd went crazy. For some, it was the end of the world. Because, oh my God, women can dunk. But yes, they can, because they can ball out. Lisa's a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 3-time League MVP, 8-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star MVP, 8-time First Team, 2-time All-Defense, 4 gold medals. Not to mention she's a head coach in the Big Three, the Ice Cube League. Lisa, without a question, still to this day is one. She's almost the Cal Ripken, if you will, where she's just a great representative and a great alumni, a great ambassador is the word I'm looking for. Ambassador to the game, especially the women's sports and to the WNBA. Not to mention the regular NBA. When we listen to her talk and sit with Charles, Chuck, and Shaq, just break down ball, because the lady can ball. Yes, she can. So that's 10 through 7. When we come back in the next segment, we're going to do 6 through 4. That one should go a little bit quicker. Genre Sports. All right, everybody. So we'll just do a quick recap. 10 through 7. Elena, Donne, Candace Parker, Maya Moore, and Lisa Leslie is the 10 through 7 and our top 10 greatest WNBA players of all time. Now, let's do 6 through 4. Let's get it going. The Australian monster herself, Lauren Jackson. This young lady played multiple seasons in the, let me get this right now, the Women's National Basketball League down in Australia, down under, where it's all they go the other way in the kangaroo, to get shrimp on the barbie. Anyway, she comes to the WNBA, and then guess what? She just balls out. Let me just give you her track record first. When she was in the Women's National Basketball League, she was a 4-time MVP, 4-time Grand Finals MVP, and a 5-time All-Star MVP. Well, when she came to the WNBA, you think she fell off? 3-time MVP, 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champion, 2-time champion, 3-time scoring champion, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year in 2007, 7-time First Team WNBA player. She came, she saw, she conquered. She went to the Storm, hooked up with Sue Bird, and just balled out. She is literally one of the best, or not greatest players in the history of the world of basketball. When you can dominate in 2 different leagues, you are that great. That's Ichiro status. So Ichiro never won a World Series. That's how good she is. That would be the equivalent of Satchel Paige going from the Negro Leagues to the regular MLB and just continuing to dominate. Except when he got to the MLB, he was 45 years old, and still struck out people. Yeah, that's great. Moving on. Number 5, her teammate, Sue Bird. Still playing, still dominant, still a beast. Sue Bird could have easily been in my top 3. Took a lot for me to not put her in the top 3, but she's in the top 5. Sue Bird, 3-time champion, 11-time All-Star, 5-time First Teamer, 3-time assist leader, 4 gold medals. And she's the all-time assist leader. Sue Bird is still in Seattle trying to make it happen, trying to get them back. Just get one more championship to put her in rare company with that 4. Not many have them, but we're going to get to some who do. Sue Bird is, when it comes down to it, I remember when she got drafted, we all thought she was Larry Bird's daughter. If it was, we wouldn't have been surprised, because something about that Bird name that gets everybody to ball out. I'm going to actually change my last name from Reed to Bird, and maybe my game would just get better. No, it'll still be garbage. But nevertheless, Sue Bird is clearly, when she retires, her place in the game could even change. As far as in my top 5, maybe she drops in top 3 into number 1. Maybe she's on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest WNBA players of all time. Maybe she, in the conversation of greatest basketball players of all time, she's definitely in the top 40. I'm going out on a limb. And then moving on to number 4, back in the day, there used to be a team in Houston, and all they did was win, no matter what. And it was Cheryl Swoops. You know the name, you know the game. 4-time champion, 6-time All-Star MVP, 5-time first team, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time League MVP, 2-time scoring champion, 2-time steals champion, 3-time gold medalist. Yeah, I don't even think I'm going to say any more about her. I'm going to let her credentials speak for herself. Let's move on to number 3 in the next segment, Downright Sports. I don't know if this really, it kind of looks like me a little bit. I'm going to do an Alfred Hitchcock kind of thing. Oh, hi. All right, everybody. This is the top 10 greatest WNBA players of all time, presented to you by Downright Sports. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? Yes. At number 10, Elena, Donne, Washington Mystics. Number 9, Candace Parker of the Los Angeles Sparks. Number 8, Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx. Number 7, the Hall of Famer Lisa Leslie. Number 6, the Hall of Famer Lauren Jackson, the Australian sensation. Number 5, the Seattle Storm Sue Bird. And at number 4, the Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops. Now here we are, guys, 3 through 1. Honest to God, this should not surprise some of you, or maybe it does. But my top 3, the credentials at the top 3 is your numbers. Your game had to surpass everyone. And honestly, to make my list, you had to be a champion, which all these ladies are, whether it was in the WNBA or in college, but nevertheless, they all were champions, some of them multiple times. Moving on. At number 3, my favorite defensive player in this game, Tamika Catchings, former Indiana Fever. She's going to the Hall of Fame this year. She's also the general manager of the team. But it's what she did on the court that mattered, kids. 10-time All-Star, Finals MVP, 7-time first team, 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. Let me say that again. 5 times she's done that. That means she's locked down, kids. 10 times all first team, 7-time Steel champion, Rookie of the Year, 4 gold medals, and then here's where it gets funky. All-time playoff scoring leader, all-time playoff rebound leader, all-decade team, and only missed the playoffs once in her career. Her second year, after that, she made the playoffs every year. If she ain't in your top 3, hell, if she ain't your number 1, we need to reevaluate everybody's thinking. She, without a question, is in the top category when you're looking at greatest players of all time in both men and women. She's definitely in the top 40, if not top 30, if not top 20. 5-time Defensive Player of the Year, definitely put you in that category. Moving on to number 2. You know her name, you know her game. She is still playing. She was a beast at UConn. She's a beast down in Phoenix. The Phoenix Mercury herself, Diana Taurasi. Whether it's in the United States or it's overseas or it's in college, she, without a question, is the woman. She is basically, without a doubt, there's no comparing her to anyone because nobody has game like this girl. 3-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, League MVP, 9-time All-Star, 10-time first team, Rookie of the Year, 5-time scoring champion. Yeah, she gets buckets. Oh, wait a minute. All assist champion, but 4-time gold medalist, 4-time USA Athlete of the Year. Oh, and not to mention, she's the all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. And she's still playing. So she's going to put herself ahead of everyone. If anybody can potentially catch it, it's maybe Maya Moore. Maybe. Or it could be somebody that just got drafted by the Liberty. Or it could be Elena Donne. That's my pick, actually. But Taurasi, without a question, is everybody's favorite player. She gets it in. She's got the Steve Nash. She's got the Kobe Bryant. She's got the LeBron James. She's got the Magic Johnson. She has it all because she makes her team better today. She steps on the court. She could take 5 of my best. She could take 4 of my closest friends and make one of us an all-star. I can promise you that. And then finally, number 1. It wasn't easy, but we picked her. A Hall of Famer, a 4-time champion, 4 in a row, 4-time finals MVP. Nobody on the list has that. 2-time MVP, 3-time All-Star MVP, 4-time first team, 3-time scoring champion. She averaged, the only other person on this list to average 21 points a game, not to mention when she joined the league, she was 34 years old. Cynthia Cooper Dyke. Yes, Cynthia Cooper Dyke. I don't know why I didn't say her whole name right. I'm sorry. Cynthia Cooper Dyke. She basically joined this league and ran roughshod through it for the little bit of time she played. It was only a short period of time, like 5 years, and she crushed it. She did her thing. She was Jordan when she played. She was on that great Houston team with Cheryl Swoop and those ladies. That team was fantastic. Sold out arenas. I am not making this up. Look it up. When Houston was on that run and the league first started, and they sold out the arena 4 straight years in a row. It was from financial situations why the team collapsed, and it's kind of sad. But without a question, she was the face. And when you start chiseling at that Mount Rushmore, you better put Cynthia Cooper on that list, ladies and gentlemen. She, without a doubt, is number 1 for a reason. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching and participating. It was kind of hilarious. We got the new sign. Shout out to me lady Allie, who stayed up a lot of days working on this. I like it. I love it. And I can't complain about it. Also, shout out to Chelsea Stewart for making the new official Downright Sports shirt. Maybe there'll be more to come, so gotta get help from your friends when you can, right? Also, check out DJ Chase's latest single right here. As you can see, take a look at that and download it at Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, wherever the heck you can get music. Also, hit us up. The music today is always by the one year, always Uncle Buddha, so we appreciate that. And then subscribe at Instagram, and then subscribe at, go to our Twitter, and just subscribe to our YouTube, become a friend, and leave a comment. Any mistakes I made today, just tell me. I have no problem with it, or just say hi. Also, real quick, with the pandemic and everything going on, it's very important for us to social distance. It's very important for us to try our best on our part to smoke this thing out and be calm and stay chill. As a people, we've survived a lot. As a people, we overcome everything. But it's as a people and as a person, we need to do our part. If you're selfish about this and all you're worrying about is yourself, this will never end. And then guess what? Everything that you want to do, you'll never get to do. So try to do your part. PYP, as a wise, great coach Marcus Gregory once told me, PYP, play your part. And next week, we'll be back with the very ever first top 10 greatest New York Yankees of all time. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Yay! All right, see you guys. Deuces, wash your hands.
That was awesome.